Hello everyone, and welcome to my first in this video series of I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but you guys wanted me to make some videos, so we're making videos now. That's a thing. No, seriously though. So I apologize in advance. I am doing this from my reptile room, which is really just my garage, and you're gonna have to excuse the mess. This is constantly a work in progress here when you've got over 100 different animals, mostly snakes. Sorry, not sorry, Mom. Not including the four-legged ones and the two-legged ones, namely Chris. I want to start by focusing on the Amazons. I know, surprise. Because that's kind of what you guys have been requesting the most of. So I want to go over just a couple of things and show off one of the babies because I can. The camera's this way. So before I get into how we keep our Amazon tree boas, I do want to get into their temperaments because I think these guys get a bad rap. They are not an aggressive snake, a quote-unquote aggressive snake. These guys are more defensive than anything else, and as long as you're willing to work with them pretty extensively, you can have one that is as calm as she is. This is Mimosa. She's my daughter Noodle. She's in shed, which is why she looks kind of nasty right now, but this is her. This is her typical temperament, and she has been this way since she was born. She's never struck, so she's a little bit of an exception in that case. But I know plenty of people who have Amazons that are this calm because they've worked with them. So let me now kind of show you what's a little bit more typical. What are you doing? It's a little bit more typical for Amazon tree boas as adults. Okay, so this is a typical setup that we have for the majority of our Amazon tree boa females. I want to emphasize for our females. These are the females that we are breeding. So you'll notice, and she does have a perch here. I've removed it for filming purposes because that way you can actually see. This is what they look like here. Simple mesh. There's a little bit of a base here, and they will use that to bask on, climb on. I do not want a whole bunch of cage decorations and everything in here. I don't want a super elaborate setup for my gravid females because when it comes time for birthing, I do not want Mom to constantly be wrapped up in all the cage decorations and have to get her out, then have to get all the babies out. If I can find all of the babies, I can't tell you how many people I know have actually lost babies because they couldn't find them. So this is a 2x2 PVC cage. She does have perches in the back here that she can climb into and hide. I personally do not like the angles of these. These are actually going to be taken out and replaced with 45s instead of these 90s because once they get up and in there, and the babies do, it's really, really hard to get them back out. But it's got radiant heat panels. You can see that they are on. LED lighting in here. We are going to be adding automated misting systems in here for these guys, but as of right now, I'm misting them twice a day. This is her right back here. Let me focus. Here we go. This is Ember. She's due sometime in November. She's a very big girl. In fact, as soon as we have the ability to do so, when her cage is ready, she's going to be upgraded to a 3x2x2 instead of her 2x2x2 because she is that big. But I want to show you, I can pretty much go in here and do whatever I want. These guys do not care what you're doing so long as you are not bugging the piss out of them. Some of them are a little bit more sensitive than others. Look at that. She didn't care. I've got, some snakes that as soon as you open up the cage door, they don't want to have anything to do with you. They're onto you like white on rice. They want to eat your soul and your firstborn. All the snakes have their own personalities. I don't know if you can see her face poking out a little bit. She's like, hey, what's going on? But these guys are generally mild-mannered so long as you're not really messing with them. So let me show you a different one. Okay, so this one doesn't have a perch in it because it's actually being cleaned, but there is a hide box in here. And that's actually not for the male, that's for the female, who's equally as mean. This is easily the meanest male that I own. Probably the only male who's drawn blood. This guy here. He's in shed on top of all things. So as you can see, as soon as I've opened this up, he's on me like white on rice. But again, he would rather just hide somewhere and sleep than really have to deal with me, because he knows he's not going to win, number one. But look at that. Yeah, I see you, bud. This is Grey Goose. Hi, buddy. I know. Not my biggest fan. I get it. So in a situation like this, you know, if you absolutely had to get in there and clean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I will show you what it is that I do. Okay, so again, I am going to emphasize that this goes back to their behavior being largely defensive and less aggressive. As you can see here with his stance and what he's doing, he really just wants to make sure that he's okay. I'm not trying to do any monkey business or whatever with him. So he's definitely a little bit more on the aggressive side. You know, if someone's in his cage, this is his territory. He doesn't want anybody all up in it. I get it, buddy. But if I absolutely have to service this cage, which does happen, especially with him, it doesn't matter what time of day. If I need to service his cage, he doesn't want anybody in it. So generally what you can do is, these are the type of hooks that I prefer. They've got an end that looks like this. Okay. Just one of these. He kind of gets it. I'm not here to harm him in any way, and usually I'll just kind of do one of these. And while he's on that side of the cage, it's really easy for me to be able to come in here and see. I gotta clean that out. No, but that's basically what I do, is I just come in here and do this. A lot of times too, something that seems like it would be mean but does tend to calm them down a lot is if you have to mist the cage down anyways, they usually get the hint. If I go to mist the cage down, then I just kind of mist in his general direction. He goes, oh, okay, well, I guess there's nothing too crazy going on. It must have just been the thunder or something. Mist down a little bit. Tends to calm them down a little bit. So that's another trick that you can do. And then it's easier for you to get in there and service whichever part of the cage, because right now he's just looking for a place to hide. So he'll find the entrance to this hide soon, and he'll be in there with it. For the most part, though, the majority of Amazons are going to be something like this. This is Merlot. She's the mother of our calico babies. Let's see if we can... There she is. Hi, baby girl. Here she is. But in any case, as you can see, she knows that I'm here. A lot of times she'll kind of poke her head out. She'll see me, see what I'm doing, and she could really care less. I can come in here and do whatever I want, and she really, really doesn't care. Hi, Mama Snake! I know she feels this. She just doesn't care. She's a very mellow snake, and her babies get that temperament too. Hi, Mama Snake! You know, so there really is not this hype when it comes to keeping Amazons. It's not like I'm constantly dodging bullets or anything. I'm not superhuman because I keep Amazons. You just gotta know your snake's personality, know which ones are gonna be a little bit more aggressive than the rest, and kind of go from there.